Hey, what's going on, guys? So I started school. Uploads haven't been, daily. Of course, I've been behind. Last video I posted was that video with my friend, Friday. And I think yeah. Well, no, it was posted Saturday, but I recorded that video Friday. And with school, I'm just kind of like still trying to catch up with things, trying to adjust, trying to get used to my own personal like schedule in life, and then school, and then work, right? So uploads may not be as frequent, so things are of course definitely going to slow down, unless like at some point I can get used to the way things are working for me now, and that can lead me to post, daily or almost daily. I might not even, when it comes to posting, I might not even, only post workout videos, right? I might post something like this while I'm talking to a camera and whatnot. And, I have a gym at the school. They have a gym at the school, and I go there, I work out there. But you can't record yourself, right? So without me recording myself, I can't post any video of me working out, unless, when I get home, that's when I'll record myself. And I don't get home until a lot later in the day, because my two classes on Mondays and Wednesdays, they're like 5 hours apart. So I don't get home till maybe like 8 o'clock, 8:30 at the latest. So, and then, when I post or record a video, edit it, all that other stuff, that's going to take like, 2 hours of my time. And then I already have stuff for school to work on after I come home, even when I come home that late, right? So, just trying to find a balance. That's what I'm in the process of right now. I'm also really thinking of, where I want to take the channel, what direction I want to go. Do I only want it to be fitness content? I do enjoy fitness. I do enjoy calisthenics. I still love it. But it's just, is that what I really want to focus my channel around, right? I might want to morph and change some things around, make it part fitness, make it part like, I guess vlogging or talking to the camera. I'm not sure what you would call this. Just things like that. I'll talk about school right now. So this is my third week, right? It's Monday as of me recording this. So I just started on my third week. Just got done with my first 2 weeks. I need to look at the camera. The camera's right there. I'm looking at my face all right. So just got through the first 2 weeks. So I have 3 classes in total. I have it's called like drawing 1, and then design 1, and then foundation of story. Those are my 3 classes right there. Mondays, I go to my 2 classes, the story class and the draw class. And then, the other days of the week, I go to my design class. I only have like 1 class out of the day on 2 days out of the week. But for the assignments, they're doing pretty good. There was a video that I kind of recorded, having my thoughts on school so far. And I was kind of, in a way, a bit iffy about it, since, I love drawing, I love doing art, it's my passion. But it's weird when it's formatted in a way where it's an assignment and I have to follow certain directions, and I can't just kind of break out of the usual style and do what I want. Because when I do what I want, that's when I have a lot more fun. But I think it just kind of, it was kind of like a little phase of thinking that I thought would have negatively impacted my experience at the school. But it's not that at all. It was just kind of like a little stint or whatever in my thoughts that made me think of school that way. But it's still pretty fun. It's a lot to do, keeping up with assignments, making sure everything's turned in on time, staying up late, like late, because it's not just me going to work and then, going home, going to work, going home. of course I would be able to post every single day. But yeah, but now that I have school, it might be a bit harder to, try and post a lot more consistently. But yeah, when it comes to assignments, I'm not like sat in front of a lecture board learning about math equations and scientific terms or whatever. That would be, boring as hell, I'm not gonna lie. But instead we're drawing, and we're being taught drawing techniques and elements of design, and of course, like different story beats and things like that, across my classes. And for the time being, nothing that I'm being taught right now is anything that I haven't learned myself, because I think it was maybe 7, 8, or maybe 9 years I was already drawing, right? I was already I got into drawing at a very young, at like the age of 12, I think 11. I got into drawing at the age of like 11, 12 years old, and I've been drawing ever since then. So a lot of the stuff that I'm being taught in these classes, I kind of already know. I have a good idea of, I've practiced them myself. But, there is just kind of like getting better, refining my technique. Because when I see people, other people's stuff, I'm like, God damn. Sorry, I'm not supposed to say that. Because like, they're really good, right? So, like in my drawing class, we just did critique for our still life drawings. We had to do two still life drawings with 3 objects in the background. Not in the background, but we had to draw like 2 still lifes. Each still life had 3 objects in it, right? So a lot of people kind of did the same couple of things, so I was able to compare and contrast with what I did and what other people did. And I'm just like, Jesus, like how in the world, like it has so much detail, and it's just like graphite pencil. It's just graphite pencil in our sketchbooks that we had to get for the class. And like, I've talked to some of them are like, oh man, I stayed up to 2 in the morning, 1 in the morning. I stayed up, I pulled an all-nighter. I didn't finish until 6:30 a.m. And I'm like, damn, like I'm not even, and it kind of makes me think like, I'm not even like thinking of doing anything like that. I'm not even thinking of, yeah, I'll just, not sleep, right? And, some of them, like, they've admitted that, like, yes, it was last minute, because some of them stayed up that late the day before the class. And, this class is, like, early morning. This class starts at 8 a.m. And I have to wake up at, like, 6 just to get to class on time. I'm not living on campus or anything. So, just seeing those people, their works, and then, at the time that they spent, even the teacher asked, like, how much time did this take? And they said, like, I don't know, I stayed up the entire night, so I didn't even sleep. So it is very interesting. A lot of these people are really good. We're all freshmen in my classes, of course, and just like them being like, just staying up, probably drinking 8 cups of coffee or whatever just to get through the night. I only had to stay up real late, I think 2 a.m. on one project that I was doing. It was for my design class. I'm gonna put up a picture of what it was. I think I did pretty good on it. And still, even when I came to class the next morning, I was a little underprepared because I didn't put on like the well, first I didn't submit all the assignments that we had did. I didn't compile them in like a folder and then submit them to the little submit area on the website that we use. So I had to do that, and then I had to put tracing paper over my stuff, which I didn't do the night before, which I should have done, but I wasn't thinking about it because I was just so focused on finishing the piece. That was like the only thing I could think of. So it was like everything else just was not in mind. But it was kind of fun. And then of course seeing other people's stuff, like beside mine, it was like a board that we plastered it on. And then seeing other people's stuff was like, wow, these people did really good. Wow, these people did. And then, some people, not so good, right? No offense. It was the same in the drawing class. I think relatively in the drawing class, everybody did well. Especially if you kind of like look a bit far from people's stuff. But if you get it closer, that's when you'll see like a lot of little mistakes, little things here and there. Even with my stuff, right? It's not like I had like the best, project or drawing or whatever, right? Even my stuff, I had stuff about it that I didn't like, that I probably could have done better, especially when I, went to sleep and woke up the next morning well rested, and then I'm seeing like everything else, and I'm like, oh my gosh. But don't get too in your head about it, right? If you felt that you did your best, if you felt that you tried, your best, you did everything you could to make the piece or the project or whatever, best to your own vision, then, you shouldn't be so afraid to share it, right? Like a lot of people were, in my drawing class, a lot of people were like kind of afraid to just put their stuff up and, put it out there and show everybody. I don't know if that's because, they wanted to wait until later so then they can like see everybody else's stuff and then compare their stuff to everybody else and then they can go up, which is most likely what people were going to do. But for me, I think I was the second one who went because, I didn't see anybody else raising their hand up, so I'm like, okay, I'll go. And, it was, of course, it's like, you think yours is like one of the best ones up there when you first go, but then everybody else that goes after you is like, not Pablo Picasso, because he didn't draw realistic stuff. More like Leonardo da Vinci or something like that, right? And I'm like, bro, damn, all this stuff is amazing, looks amazing. Some people even came up to me, like there was this one guy in the class, his stuff, like, bro, he was the guy who stayed up all night doing his. And, he even complimented on mine. I'm like, me? You, bro? You? Because he did this, I can't even describe it. He did this thing where he, like, zoomed out of it. And it was this whole thing. It was really good. Yeah, now I'm just trying to focus on other stuff. Or, other assignments for my other classes. There's this book I had to read for my Story and Foundation class, called Medusa. It was written by some lady in the UK. It's about, of course, the Greek mythology of Medusa and telling like the true story and telling it from her perspective, which it was pretty good. Some parts were a little like preachy, but everything else it was good. Maybe some characters, maybe I feel like the book didn't spend enough time on certain parts, which kind of made things feel a bit rushed. It was okay. Overall, it was okay. And now I got to read this other book called The Mexican Gothic. Hopefully, I finished that book. Today, it's reading week, so I have like all the time in the world just to read that book. I think it's only like 100-something pages. So I think that's all about. Yeah, I think that's about all I have to say. So, in terms of uploading and things like that, I want to be consistent, right? If I'm consistent, then I'll be able to upload more often because I'll know like, oh, I upload on this day, that day, whatever, right? But I'm still figuring that stuff out. I'm a little slow sometimes when it comes to this stuff, so just let me have your mercy, okay? So yeah, see you guys in the next video. Hope you guys enjoyed just listening to this one, right, or whatever. So yeah, peace out, man.